Hola my friends, welcome back to A Life I Choose, the place to be to design your life so you can thrive. Today is a Q&A, and the reason that we're doing a Q&A is because A Life I Choose turned 3. Oh yes baby, A Life I Choose turned 3 years old, and I decided to celebrate by doing a Q&A. So on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because we have lots of fun there and we're in communication very often on Instagram. Basically on Instagram I asked you guys to send me your questions about starting a business, about vlogging, about blogging, about being a therapist and a coach. And you guys sent me your questions, and they're super interesting questions. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for your questions. Like, they're awesome, they're insightful, and I really appreciate your trust. So before I get started, for those of you who are new here, welcome to A Life I Choose. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Emma. I'm a psychotherapist and a lifestyle strategist. I'm also the founder of A Life I Choose, which is a self-development agency which helps people to amplify their strengths so that they can overcome any challenge that life sends them, and they can create life on their own terms, making sure that it is exciting and fulfilling and full of love and joy and passion. So that's what we do. So the first question is, what is your advice to someone who has just started a Facebook page and wants to take a leap from there? So first of all, congrats on starting your Facebook page. That is the first step, and it's already a risky step because you're putting yourself out there. So good for you for taking that initial step. As for taking the leap from there, what's important is to define where you are leaping to. What are you leaping to? You know, so what is your outcome for your future, for your business, for your Facebook page? Like, why did you create it? What is the outcome? So yes, you want to take a leap, but you don't want to leave the leap in the hands of fate. I really do believe that, you know, kind of life works with us to create what we need to create. That sometimes, and a lot of the times, life is wiser than us and knows where we need to go more than we do. But I wouldn't leave it up to fate completely. Definitely define what is your outcome. You can use this method that I've mentioned on this channel countless times, which is called rapid planning method. So basically you define your outcome. And when you define your outcome, you're saying, okay, what is it that I want to create? And you always go for what you really want, what you really envision. You don't go for less. You don't go for what you think life might give you or what you think you could potentially get away with. You go for what you really want. Once you've defined your outcome, okay, what is it that you're creating? Then you go to your why. What's your purpose? Like, why does it matter to create this? What difference is it going to make to other people's lives? What difference is it going to make to your life? You know, what difference is it going to make in general? Why is it important to invest your energy in this? And you list as many reasons that come to you for why this matters. Then once you've done, so you have your outcome, you have your why, then you're going to move to your strategy. This is your how. Okay, so how are you going to create this vision? What steps do you need to take? Who do you need to be to create this? Who do you need to be in contact with? What do you need to learn? Where can you learn this? Who can teach you? So you just list as many things as you can. This is your strategy. As many things as you can that will help you to create this vision. And then you implement it. You implement the strategy, you schedule it, and you go and you take the action steps that you listed. That is how you will take the leap. That is how you will take your imagination, your vision, and you'll make it reality, step by step. So go rock it. Okay, second question. What are the essential tips for someone wishing to start a business? So when I read this question the first time, I was like, oh my God, I have so many tips. So I took some notes. My first tip is, 1, believe in yourself even when the people around you don't get it, like they don't get what you're trying to do, and even when you don't fully get what you're trying to do yet. So just believe in yourself. It's going to be confusing. It's going to be a challenge. Sometimes you're gonna wonder if it's real, if you're ever gonna get to where you really want to get to. You're gonna doubt yourself big time. You're gonna think that other people know how to do this and you don't. Just keep believing in yourself, keep going, and what's important is that you keep being around people who have an attitude of empowerment. So if you're around a lot of people who tell you this is not possible, you're not gonna make it, or yeah, right, like let's see, then it's really impossible that you expand your peer group. It sounds a bit complicated. It's possible to do it physically, right, with real friends as well. You can go to events where people are more open-minded entrepreneurs, like you can go to networking events with other female entrepreneurs or people just starting their businesses. For example, in Malta there's She, the social hub entrepreneurs. This is for women specifically. I know there are many others as well. So then another thing you can do, and this is something that I used all my life, is choose your mentors. Right? Sometimes people think that your mentors are the people who, they're your bosses, they're the people who you end up with at work or at school. Choose your mentors, seek them out, pay for them, be ready to invest in yourself by investing in being around people who are creating the results that you want, and learn from them, study them, model them. Yeah, so you want to be around people who have an empowered attitude, so that empowers you. And if you can't be around them physically, then watch them on YouTube, you know, read their books, listen to their podcasts, like just kind of get that mindset into your mindset. Okay, my second tip for my essential tips for wanting to start a business is make sure you have a growth mindset. Okay, you do not want a fixed mindset when you're running a business. And so what this means is, if there's something you don't know how to do yet, you don't know how to do it yet. That yet is key. When you're running a business, you cannot have this mentality of, oh, I don't know how to do that, that's not in my field. You have to want to learn, okay? You have to want to expand yourself, okay? So definitely have a growth mindset, be ready to try different things, be ready to put yourself out of your comfort zone to grow, basically. My third tip is to define who your ideal client is. Who wants your service? Who wants your product? Who have you made this product and service for? And how will it benefit them? Again, like I said in the first question, you don't want to be leaving this up to fate, kind of, oh, we'll see who comes, because then you're going to end up working with clients who maybe aren't the people who you provide the service for, or clients who just don't have the same values as you. You want to ask yourself, who is my ideal client, right? So for example, if you're doing like ecologically sustainable products, you're gonna go after people who believe in this stuff. You're gonna want to communicate with them. If you're working with people who, you're doing something for motorbikes, you wanna get to people who are nuts about motorbikes, you know? So you wanna define who is my ideal client and how can I communicate this to them? Where can I find them? And how can I show them that what I am providing is going to bring value to their lives, right? So ideal client, find them, go communicate it. Because you can have an awesome service or product, awesome, but if you're not communicating it to the people you need to be communicating it to, then you're not gonna have the flow. So define who they are and then go speak to them about it. So fourth is a follow-up from the third point, which is communication and networking. So you want to be putting yourself out there, you want to be speaking to people, letting them know what you do and why you do it, right? Because if people don't know about you, you can have an amazing service, they're not going to find you. And the fifth tip for this question, and then I'll round up, is always focus on the value you are bringing to your clients and to the world. Okay, so what is your outcome for your business? Why does it matter? Right? How are you bringing value to other people? In business, if you are only focusing on yourself, on the value you're bringing to yourself, you're not going to go far. You know, you might go far, but you're going to attract a specific kind of clientele. If you're watching this video, you're not that kind of person. So, because you're on this channel, and if you're on this channel, then you think about other people too. So basically, you want to be valuing other people. Basically, what is the value you are bringing to the world? Yeah, that has to be your focus for your business. The third question is, I'm having trouble realizing what my passions are, where to invest my time and efforts. Any tips? So when it comes to understanding yourself, what you're passionate about, what you want to go after in life, it's really important that you are in relationship with yourself. Now this sounds a bit funny, but basically in the same way that if you're in a marriage, you need to invest time and energy into understanding your partner and yourself and the way that you interact in the relationship. Because if you don't do this, then the relationship will start to crumble. And when you understand your partner and you understand how you get into certain dynamics, then you can grow, you can shift, you can change. In the same way that you need to do that, you need to be understanding yourself. So how do you be in a relationship with yourself? So there are things that you can do, like you can journal, just free journaling. You can go to workshops that encourage for you to go within, listen to yourself, trust yourself. You can work with a therapist or a coach or a strategist. This will all help you to cultivate this relationship with yourself so that you can be in touch with yourself, you can understand yourself. Basically, you're in dialogue with yourself. Also, to understand what really you are passionate about, there are some exercises that you can use. So one is to pay attention to what you get excited about. What you get excited about and what you get angry about and what you are fearful of. So what you get excited about means you want more of that in your life. What you're angry about means this is something that needs to stop, right? And you can create a business based on, kind of stopping something from happening by turning it into a positive and creating something that will stop something from happening. So for example, with the life I choose, my purpose is to create a business that empowers people to live lives that are truthful to themselves. Okay, and when you live a life that is truthful to yourself, it's fulfilling, and because you're fulfilled, you're happier and you're more compassionate with others. Therefore, you are lessening the amount of abuse in the world. So this is my driving force, right? Abuse makes me freaking angry. So this is what I want to limit. So I focus on what I want to create. So listen to what you are excited about, okay? So for example, excitement, I get excited by workshops, I get excited by working with clients. So listen to what you're excited about, listen to what makes you feel angry, and also listen to what you're fearful of, because fear shows us where we need to grow. So for example, something I used to fear a lot was networking and being around other people and putting myself out there, like with YouTube or with public speaking. Because you fear it, you know that you need to lean into it and you need to support yourself to overcome this fear. It tells you where you need to grow. So yeah, when you are trying to decipher what you're passionate about, pay attention to those three emotions: excitement, anger, fear. Be in relationship with yourself, and also design your life around the 20% of it that brings you most joy and the most positive results. Ask yourself, what makes me happiest? What is most nourishing to me? An exercise that you can do right now is you can take a piece of paper, split the page in two, write nourishing on one side of the paper and depleting on the other side. And then I just want you to write anything that comes to you of activities that you do during the day, or thoughts that you think, or emotions that you feel that are nourishing. So for example, meeting friends, working with clients, having fun, having a cup of tea, journaling. These would be nourishing things, depending. I'm speaking for myself, so it depends for you. Then depleting things would be things like arguing, getting obsessed over the same thought over and over again, being around people I don't like, whatever. So that would be depleting stuff. So in this way, again, you get in touch with what really nourishes you, what really is good for you. And then you design your life to focus on that 20%, right? On those things in your life that are most nourishing. And the other things, you either delegate or you eliminate. So we can speak more about this. I spoke about this a little bit in a previous video, which I'll link below. It's called the 80-20 principle. There's lots of books about this. Very, very interesting concept. Yeah. This is how you can really get in touch with yourself and figure out where you should be focusing your energy on. The fourth question is, how do you start a blog or a vlog? There are many ways to do this, but I'm going to tell you how I did it, because this is what I know. So I started my blog using a program called WordPress. So you can find this at wordpress.com. You can even start a blog for free first, and then eventually when you're ready you can invest in having your own domain. I remember I actually did a course on blogging, which you can find online, and this was years ago. This was way before I even wanted to start a blog. I just kind of had an inclination that one day I'd like to start a blog, and basically I did this course. I learned about WordPress and stuff, but you really learn about it once you're doing this, and you don't have to do a course. You can, but you can also just learn about it from YouTube and whatever. What I had done was I created blogs that I was interested in, sort of just for me really. Like, first I had done one about baking, and then I had created one for me and Pete to use as a communication medium, and that sort of got me used to using it. And then I just knew what I wanted to write about. Finally, like, it came to me, like, I wanted to write about this, helping people to be more in touch with themselves, live more fulfilling lives. And that's where A Life I Choose came from, and then I started doing that. So yeah, to start a blog, my suggestions are WordPress, and kind of ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What do I love speaking about? What do I love thinking about? When I'm bored, what do I go to? What do I research? So yeah, and then choose 3 topics, write 3 blog posts, and go for it. As for a vlog, what you need is a YouTube channel. Again, to start up a YouTube channel, you can YouTube it, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit, I found the process a little bit more complicated than starting the blog. Still totally doable. Just dedicate some time to it and get it done. And you need a camera. I use the Canon G7X. When I started, before I was confident, I just used my MacBook, to be honest. I just filmed using the camera within the laptop. And then for video editing, I use iMovie on my MacBook. That's what I used to use. Now Nicola edits the videos. Yeah, and a tip for starting a blog or a vlog is stop waiting for it to be perfect. And this goes even for starting a business. Like, don't expect it to be perfect. Make it good enough and go. Like, stop hiding. Stop worrying about what people are gonna say. People are gonna talk shit anyway, so just go. Just go for it. That's my tip. The 5th question is, how much has your business scope changed in 3 years from the initial vision you had? So my vision when I began A Life I Choose 3 years ago was, like I said, to empower people to live lives that are fulfilling for them, which means to live an authentic life, a life that is truthful to yourself. And once you are living this way, you're going to be more fulfilled, because you're not going to be depleted. You're going to be feeling nourished. When you feel nourished, your cup starts to overflow. And then you start to take care of other people, not in a dependent way that they become dependent on you, but you want to give back, right? It's the laws of growth and contribution. When you are living a life that is exciting and fulfilling, you are growing. And once you are growing, then you can contribute. This was my mission all along. This was my vision. And I wanted this because I've seen so much abuse in the world, and I'm just not okay with it. And there is so much abuse in the world. It's something that it just makes me very unhappy. When people are miserable, it just makes me very unhappy. So I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to contribute in some way, because I was someone who used to be miserable, and I had to learn. I had to train my mind and my body to enjoy happiness, to seek joy. So that was my growth, and this is how I want to contribute, and I'm still growing and I still want to contribute. This is why I'm here. So my vision has remained the same. In some ways it's adjusted, I suppose. Now my vision is to be international, which A Life I Choose is becoming international. We now have clients overseas. We're based in Malta, but we have clients in Germany and in the UK. I suppose my strategy has adjusted, not my vision, my strategy. At the beginning it was the blog and developing the private practice. Then it was developing the lifestyle strategy sessions and the workshops. Now it's, new stuff is coming, which I won't reveal everything. I love you guys and I share with you guys a lot, but I like to give you things when they're more concrete. So yeah, I'd say my vision has stayed the same. It's just my strategy has adjusted, and I suppose I break my vision, my large vision, down into mini visions each year, and I work towards those visions each year. The 6th question. I can make to-do lists and set up daily routines, but I can't seem to get my grind back and just stick to the plan on a daily basis. Any ideas on how to get my mojo back? This is a great question. I have 3 answers for you, because there's 3 possibilities for why you might be, in a sense, self-sabotaging, right? Because you're good at setting up the tasks, you're good at kind of knowing what you need to do, but then you don't follow through. 1, there might be fear around it. You might be doubting your ability to actually create what you want, in which case you need to address the beliefs. They might be beliefs that you're not conscious of, and so it would be good for you to have a strategist or a coach or a therapist to work with you so that you can notice the beliefs that are interrupting you. Again, when you're choosing who to work with, choose someone who lives this kind of life, right? Who is overcoming their limiting beliefs themselves, who is putting themselves out there, who is creating the results that you want for yourself. Fear might be derailing you from sticking to what you need to do. The second possibility is maybe your daily plan is unrealistic. So maybe you're trying to do too much and it's feeling too painful. It's just, there's too much stuff. And maybe there isn't enough fun and playtime. When you're developing a business, you know, it's really easy, especially when you're passionate about what you do, to just work all the time. But this is going to work against you, because you also need inspiration from other sources. You need to be around other people, you need to let go sometimes and just have fun. So it's important that you schedule in fun time as well. The third possibility is that maybe you're unclear on what exactly you're creating. So when we do things, when we have a lot of tasks to do, but we're unsure of where we're going, that's exhausting, because it's doing without purpose and intention. When you're clear on what your goal is, on what your outcome, and you know that these tasks are gonna get you there, then it's easier to go. You know why you're doing it, you know what you're creating, and that drives you. So even though like there's stuff to do, like it's all purposeful, and you know like, hey, I'm taking these steps and I'm gonna achieve this. How freaking cool is that? Maybe go back to like question 1, and I think it was question 2 as well, and define, your outcome, your why, and your strategy. Make it very clear, what is your vision, why are you doing what you're doing, and what do you want to create? And you'll stick to it, because you're good at creating the vision. You're good at creating the schedule. You just need the vision to be clearer, and probably to unblock the fear and have fun. Number 7. So what's your number 1 tip to have more clients, or at least a healthy, steady growth? Okay, so my tips for having more clients or steady growth is 1, to define, I'm repeating myself a bit, but define who your ideal client is. Don't leave this up to fate. Who do you want your clients to be? Who is your service or product for, right? Because you want to bring them value. They are people who share your value, so go out and bring them more value. So define who they are. Find out where you can find these people and how you can communicate, how you can bring more value to them. And then start putting yourself out there. So whether this is through the blog or through YouTube, or by going to events and meeting people, people going to events that are in alignment with those values. And you just start putting yourself out there, making connections. Sales is all about trust. What I've learned is that people are willing to part, this sounds really funny, but to part with their money, or rather to invest in something, when they trust you. So what's important is that you put yourself out there first. You take the first step. You can't expect your client to trust you before you've given them reason to trust you. So you need to show your value. You need to connect with them, basically. So yeah, that's my number 1 tip. Connect and build trust. Question number 8. What part of your job satisfies you most? The part of my job that satisfies me the most is witnessing my clients transform. So basically, my clients come to me with certain challenges that they want to overcome, and most of the time they don't believe it's possible to overcome them. So what we do is we define, okay, what are the challenges exactly, and how do you want your life to be? How do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to be like? And then we work towards that vision by overcoming the fear, by unblocking it, by addressing the limiting self-beliefs and replacing them with empowering beliefs, by creating actual concrete strategies with action steps that my clients can take towards creating this vision. For me, the most rewarding part of this job is seeing them do that and creating the results that they want, and just seeing the look on their faces. They're like, I did this, and I'm like, fuck yes you did, like, you know, of course you did, you know. So to me, that's super fun. I love it. I love it. It's super cool. It's a lot of fun. Very, very rewarding. And plus you develop this beautiful trust with your client and this beautiful connection with them. And for me, it's like, it's a celebration, you know, seeing my clients achieve and thrive and overcome pain and trust themselves more and heal and have, you know, better relationships, more intimate relationships with the people around them. There's nothing better than seeing people live more fulfilling lives. For me, there's nothing that brings me more joy. So at the end of the day, I tend to feel really good. So yeah, that's what's most satisfying for me. The final question for this video is, do you ever feel like your clients' issues get you down? If yes, how do you deal with this? This is a really good question. When I first started as a therapist, yes, this used to happen to me occasionally, where I would feel a bit down. It didn't happen a lot, but sometimes I would sort of think about my clients' like problems, like, you know, and kind of get sort of stuck in it a little bit. Now it doesn't happen at all, ever. The reason for this is that, one, I've become more confident at my job, and also through seeing so many clients, I've learned that there are patterns to the way that we behave. And basically, like, all suffering is a way of meeting our needs. So when a client is suffering, whether it be anxiety, depression, chronic pain, relationship struggles, whatever, suffering is a way that we meet our needs, our 6 human needs, okay? So certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. So suffering is a way of meeting the first 4 needs. Forget about the last 2, that comes later. If I get lost in the content of what the client is telling me, so they're telling me that they have this problem and they have this relationship, for example, with their mother or with their husband or whatever, you know, I get lost in the content of what they're saying, then I become confluent with them. I stop seeing the pattern. So what I've learned in my years of working as a therapist is that now there's this space where I see the pattern. I don't get stuck in the content. I see the pattern. So what needs are they meeting? And they do this unconsciously. So no one is doing this maliciously, no one is doing this consciously. It's an unconscious way of meeting their needs, which they would have learned in childhood or throughout the years. What's important for me is that I see, okay, what needs are they meeting? And then I compassionately mirror the process to my clients. So for example, let's say one of my clients goes into a state of anxiety, when they feel disconnected from the people around them, when they feel misunderstood, unseen, lonely, and then their anxiety comes up, and then, hey, what do you know, somebody finally pays attention because this person's freaking out and falling apart, right? So what needs are you meeting? You're meeting the need for certainty, because you know that when you go to that state, 1, it's familiar, so you can trust it, and 2, it's gonna get you a response, that's certainty. 2, you're meeting the need for significance. See me, show me that I matter to you. And 3, you're meeting the need for connection. Hey, pay attention to me. You know, kind of, I need you to tune in. So whenever you meet 3 needs through a behavior or an emotion or a thought, it will become a habit. It will become, your brain will actually become addicted to it. Then there is a whole physiological process to this, where we actually become addicted to these emotional states. You know, where a thought produces a protein within the neuron. The protein then triggers a hormone. The hormone triggers the emotion, and then we have thoughts to match that exact emotion, and it goes in a loop like this. And if it goes on for long enough, then we stop defining it as just being an emotional reaction, and it becomes the personality, right? So that's where it gets confusing. People think this is me. They think I'm always depressed, I'm always anxious, this is me. No, it's not. It's just a pattern that your brain is addicted to at the moment, your body is addicted to. So what's important is seeing it, right? So this is my job as the therapist. It's helping the client to see the pattern from a distance, so that then once they see it, they have awareness, then they have choice. Because when you have no awareness, you have no choice. You are preconditioned, so you are living your life like it's in the Matrix, right? It's do you want to take the blue pill? I think, right? It was the blue pill where you had awareness. You could see what was really happening. What's happening is when you're stuck in a pattern, you're lacking awareness. Once you have awareness, then you have choice. Now, some people with awareness will go back and they'll stay in the pattern because it's safe. Certainty. It's meeting their needs. Going and trying a new pattern, that's a leap of faith. That's stepping into the unknown. So yeah, that's really a beautiful process, and it's a very, very growthful process. I've diverted a bit, but basically the point is, no, I don't get down when I'm working with clients, because I don't get stuck in the content. To me, there's no such thing as an issue. There's no such thing as a problem. There are challenges. There are opportunities for growth. There are opportunities for learning. There's no such thing as a problem. So no, I don't get down, and if anything, I actually feel really uplifted. I super enjoy my work, and typically when I say bye to my last client at the end of the day, I'm just like, fuck yes, like that was a good day, because I've had so much fun and it's been so fulfilling, because there's nothing I enjoy doing more. Okay, I enjoy spending time with my family and stuff, but it's just super fun. Another reason that I don't get down, and I'll just say this and then I'll close this video because I realize it's a long video, is because we experience suffering and misery when we are only focused on ourselves. When we step into compassion and we step into, when we connect with other people, it's not physiologically possible to be miserable when you are compassionate. So what's beautiful about my job is that I mirror these processes to my clients from a state of compassion. I can't connect with them if I don't step into compassion. And because I step into compassion, I'm not self-focused, right? I'm other-focused. I'm in touch with myself. I don't lose myself, but I'm other-focused. And whenever you are thinking about other people, it's impossible to be miserable. Okay, so that's another reason why, no, I don't get down. Now, I'm super uplifted by my work. It's super fun. So that is the end of the video and the questions. Guys, you sent me awesome questions. I loved them. I loved the process of thinking about them and answering them. And I really hope that you found value in this video. If you did, please do give it a like. If you did, please share this video with your friends and your loved ones, whoever you think would get value from this video. Also, please leave a comment below. Tell me what resonated with you. Tell me what you want to know more about. Ask me questions and I will make more videos. I will make more videos anyway, but just tell me, I love communication and I really appreciate your input. This is a beautiful community that we're creating together. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please remember to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification to be notified whenever we upload a new video. Nicola and I upload new videos twice a week, every Mondays and Thursdays, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. I'm sending you so much love and so much gratitude and so much joy. Go after your dreams and believe in yourself. And when you're lacking, get help, get the mentorship that you need, and just keep going, baby, because you rock. Lots and lots of love and peace. Bye.